All right, everyone, welcome back. This is our new episode, which is dedicated for a new year. It's nice to see you guys here back again. It's your host, Mathijs Olij, and today we are back with our new episode. Mathijs, how are you, bro?
Good, man. Merry
Professional
Christmas.
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, professional Dragon Slayer. We're back in the building, baby. New Year special. Merry Christmas to everyone who's watching.
Yeah,
And we got a special guest, finally.
finally.
A serious one.
It was difficult to find me.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't difficult to hear a lot about you, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I already warned him beforehand, he's one of the famous people here in Kazakhstan, in Almaty. Like everyone we've been interviewing before, they were telling us about, I should go to Bowlers, I should go to Green Bazaar, coffeehouse and stuff. And then we were like, it wasn't in our mind to invite you here, to talk to you personally. Mathijs, thank you for
you're
being
welcome.
our guest.
Merry Christmas
Cool.
to you too, guys.
Yeah, bro, it's 25th today.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, I don't know if you celebrate it, or is it
Well,
just today?
Well,
It's just today. We celebrate everything.
It's symbolic.
Yes,
really,
yes,
I
yes.
guess.
You know,
kind of. Yeah.
mutual respect. You know, it's Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan people celebrate everything, man. You'll see Kazakhs dive into the cold water with Russians and say Bismillah, and they just dip in and come out.
If you take the combination, indeed, of the Kazakh culture and the Russian, former Soviet or Russian culture, and the Korean culture, then you only have prazniks.
Yeah.
Yeah, only celebrations. So
Yeah. Sure.
One lazy country, man. Yeah, it's good to have you here.
thanks.
Yeah.
So, I actually heard about you 2 years ago. A friend of mine took me to your. It's also yours, right? On what's the street?
Kalina.
Kabambay Bateria, Kalina.
Yeah, I closed it recently.
You closed it?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we closed it, but yes, it was mine for 7 years.
I only been there 2 years ago, and I haven't seen. I don't know how many types of coffee you had there, but it was one of the best flat whites I've had in many years. Yeah, and then later on they said, the owner, he has a shop in Green Bazaar, and then I watched it, I think on YouTube or somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, what, how come I don't know about these things?
Amazing.
I'm from Almaty and I don't know this stuff. And
We try to be very low profile. I mean, not in the shade, but in terms of marketing, I'm not very active, and because I feel that I have to spend the time on my on my guests and on my team, rather than trying to be popular
And the service. That's
yes. So this combination is for me vital. So if I start to publish myself, more or less, then I will get a lot of followers maybe, but in how much that's authentic, I prefer to have a very close, tight community where I work with every day. And
But I think it's becoming more and more popular, like each month, I'd say, because a lot of guests who've been here already, they're like, they quite note that this kind of coffee house exists, and then we were really curious about.
Yeah,
I think we already had 3 guests. They mentioned your shop.
Yeah.
And there's the American guy who takes tourists there to your spot.
Yeah, Dennis.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis is also a local. Huh?
He's also local.
Yes,
I don't know.
Speaks the language, knows the culture too, and
Well, I don't consider them local. I consider them as agents,
as agents. Okay.
spies.
That's his thing.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I wouldn't know how to manage it myself. If you consider me,
You got a good cover. Well, you got a
I got a
perfect
good
cover.
I don't have time for anything else.
Yeah, and now I come to think, even Hans, our mutual friend,
Yes.
he might be agent too. Like, why would you choose to come to Kazakhstan and choose Kazakhstan? And these guys have a bad cover. You have a good cover. You have a perfect story. Yeah,
okay.
the alibi is there.
But I'm within the community. So
Yes.
I just,
And those guys, they have their story very confusing. Like they here to research nuclear something. They here to research Soviet whatever, the Russian speaking, the region. Like the story they have is really weird. And then I say, okay, so who finances you? Oh well, the university in America, and it's kind of connected to whatever some government, and then they have really close connections with the embassy, and then we get blamed. We got people commenting below. They're like, "Oh, these guys are being sponsored by the U.S. embassy."
It's not that we deny it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we kind of welcome.
Yeah.
If the U.S. embassy is watching this and they want to sponsor, We welcome you. Yes,
think actually
but we're getting blamed for no reason. So at least we need to get
Exactly.
paid.
I think they should sponsor me
They should.
by now.
They should.
I mean, like, I'm kind of representing Holland in a different way, in a less flat way. So not only tulips and smoking.
Well, of course.
Yeah, that could be an idea. But no, I'm okay. I don't do I don't do politics. It's not my game. It's not my ambition. I think it's a waste of time for me. Of course, I try to contribute to the culture. Yes, I don't try to change the Kazakh culture. I try to, for example, we talked about the Green Bazaar a bit. Yeah. The Green Bazaar is an experiment, and I do it especially in order to provoke a different view.
Yes.
But again, not to undermine the Kazakh culture, because I think Kazakhstan is still in the phase where they need to search their own identity. And if I start as a foreigner, or I'm a foreigner, but I'm also partly local, to overrule this development, I think it's not good, because the Kazakh culture needs to find its own roots, needs to find its own future, and you should be very careful with this.
Okay, that's a really good point. How about I'm kind of interested. How about the Green Bazaar? Okay. So how how did you find something interesting in there?
Exactly. I had
like we don't find that place like interesting. I haven't been to Green Bazaar. I don't know, since I was a kid, and I hate that. Like, I think it's right here, right around the corner.
Can I ask your age?
Yeah, I'm 34.
Okay, 34. Now, do you know there's something Niže Gogola?
Something Niže Gogola?
Yeah. So
well,
this idea is like, when you go Niže Gogola,
okay,
it's like not as cultural, not as developed.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've been brought up in like the uptown.
So I'm let's say a product of Vyššie Gogola. Yes, I deal with people mostly from Vyššie Gogola.
Yeah.
I think the idea of Niže Gogola, down from Gogola Street, that it's absurd. Yes, I understand where it comes from.
Yeah,
but I think we should break this kind of stigma, because
exactly. You made it cool.
We need to combine the communities, and you can have respect. You should have respect for everybody. It doesn't matter if somebody sweeps the floor. I got more respect for the guy who in the morning at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock sweeping the floor here, even if he's an ex-prisoner or whatever he is. He's doing his job. He's doing his best. He's trying to maintain his family. I have big respect for that.
I agree.
And so, when we start to split up this community of the ultra rich or the very rich and the lower segment, I think Kazakhstan will go the wrong way, or wrong direction. And so for me, opening in the Green Bazaar, one of the idea is that I want to bring culture together, and the different communities together. There's another
as a bridge, like
as a bridge, yes. And
government, take notes.
Okay, that's a whole different thing. And for me to do that, I think as a foreigner or a local foreigner, it is more easy to do this than a Kazakh could do this. I think. So for me, opening in the Green Bazaar, it's pure love. I mean, I love the Green Bazaar. I love food. And I saw in the years that I come here, I see the Green Bazaar deteriorating to almost nothing.
Yeah.
And so there's a sense of anger towards the top. Like, why they didn't invest a bit more in the Green Bazaar? And it seems that it's quite difficult to do that. And so if they don't start themselves, I will help them out by giving an example what the Green Bazaar could be in the future.
You did.
So I just asked. I went to the Green Bazaar. I saw this scuff. This small balcony was completely empty. It was used as a kind of a warehouse, and next door was a Lakman place, which was the guy did his best maybe, but it was not really up to level, I think. So I thought, why not? Why not taking the space? So I asked the people if I could rent the space, and they agreed with it. And of course, they were a bit surprised that a Dutchman wants to have this space, and they were also a bit worried, like what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
But I
I
wasn't.
hope nothing illegal, right? Because
I mean, like,
Dutchman wants a space on the second floor.
Yeah, you just don't know. Yeah. So for
Exactly.
me, but I thought, I give it a go. So I started as low profile as possible to feel the vibe and to feel the people, because for me, the community of the Green Bazaar is very strong. Yes, and it's by generations. So in order for a foreigner to come in, you could have a problem that they say, he's going to show us how to do things. There's a bit of this foreign arrogance kind of stuff, and that's not what I try to do. I try to mingle in the society. Though I'm not Central Asian, and it's a Central Asian market, I try to bring something that contributes to the Green Bazaar.
When was it?
It's already like 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So we started, and then the COVID started.
Wow.
And it was like, I'm not unique in this, of course, but it was a big bang for the whole industry, and in a negative sense. So it was a quite difficult start. But if you don't risk, the worst case scenario, I can sit there by myself, have a coffee, and if I do break even, I love my coffee. And there's not to be like narcissistic or something, but just I love to sit in the Green Bazaar, feel the vibe, drink a coffee, and if I do make break even, and I give jobs to people, and everybody's happy.
Well, that's a great way of going about it.
Then I'm okay. Of course, it's nice to make more profits and everything, but profit is a
secondary thing.
It's a secondary thing to the general mission.
Amazing. I'm really impressed by this.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mathijs, I have a question based on this. Like the idea starting the coffee house, the coffee shop, was it because of your background? Like you had this experience doing the business in this field or before, or it was just like the passion?
No, 2010 I started an academy here, so I train people in coffee professional. That's my main thing. Okay. So I trained a big part of Bishkek and a big part here in Kazakhstan. So the result of that is that all my students, they came to my academy for a coffee and a talk, which is great, and I really respect all of them. But if they come a few times a day, it's hard for me to provide trainings because you'll have guests every time. So it's one way a compliment, but the other way it's a bit problematic to combine this. And since we had quite big problems with good coffee in Almaty, people just asked me, can you open a cafe? And I actually refused it for many years. But then suddenly I had the opportunity to and the idea to start a coffee shop in the metro and in the metro station by Kanur. So I opened a chain of coffee stores in the metro stations together with 2 other partners. And that project went well, but working with partners is not always as easy because everybody has his own views, and which is okay. But there were some things that I didn't think that was the right direction, so I decided to stop and to start a new project. And then I started to work with Bowler. That's how it came. So I took on Kalin a small space, which was like 26 square meters. I started to work myself, yes. And downstairs in the basement, I had my office. And just, you start.
Amazing. And that was 2016.
16, yeah.
Right. I mean, at that time, as I'm aware, starting the coffee business wasn't that popular yet. Because, I mean, recently in the last 5 years, you can see how people are getting in this industry.
How did we survive without coffee all these years, man?
I mean, it wasn't that popular at that time. Like, people didn't used to drink coffee, like early
but popular and quality, these are two different...
exactly, bro.
Sorry to say, I don't want to insult anybody, but...
but that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Once you start drinking, have good coffee, like it's really hard to go back.
And then what do you think, what's your opinion about, do you actually see how this industry of coffee business is raising?
Yeah, of course.
And why do you think it became so? Like your view towards it? why everyone started doing.
I think religion is not so popular anymore in some sense, and coffee is a new religion. Yes, for a lot of youngsters.
Yeah.
To try to find their identity, it being in music, it being in podcasters, can be anything. Yes, and one of those instruments of finding yourself is coffee, and coffee is very fashionable. Yes, so for the new age, it's super interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, I can explain the difference between coffee, because there's a difference in the new age coffee and the more traditional way of doing coffee. These are also separate segments, but yeah, coffee became kind of a religion to a lot of people, and you see this enormous fanatic coffee brewers. Yes, yeah, and this development, so it's growing, but at the same time, there are a lot of places who use the name coffee to raise their business, but it really doesn't have a lot to do with coffee. And coffee is a serious business. It's not only business, but it's a serious religion where you have to be very active and very active with your staff, because coffee is not a machine in coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just
well, mostly we have bad coffees, bro. Mostly we have bad coffees. I told you I'm on my way, grab a coffee or something to wait for me. And then I was like, why would I tell him to grab a coffee to a guy who's coming from Bowler? Like, because it's definitely, I don't know. Did you get it from downstairs?
Yeah.
So it's a very bad coffee. It's a very bad coffee.
Yeah, but I mean, let's say we were downstairs. I saw the girl. Nothing against the girl, yes, on an individual level. But I can just see that it's just sad to see, because the girl is not educated. I mean, she's not trained, not enough. And so either it is that she herself is not able to sponsor her development. Yes, that could be a technical reason. Or the owner is not able to provide the proper training to their staff. And training doesn't mean that you train him and then let him go.
Yeah.
It's a continuous process. It's psychology, when somebody feels really bad as a person individually, you're talking about your kids, you had some issues today. If you then start to brew coffee, then most of the time you'll taste it in the coffee that the coffee is not good, because your in the circumstances are not in balance.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So you need to work a lot with your staff on this.
You know what can be worse? Those fucking coffee machines, man. I hate them. Those 500, 600 tenge coffee machines. Oh my God, man. Well, I think
it's a massage for me. I mean, like, people start having this stuff. Thank you. I respect Nestle. Instant coffee. Big respect, because this is where people start. If we wouldn't have Nestle, we wouldn't have any coffee culture in Kazakhstan.
Well, it's growing. I think people are finally getting to the point to understand that, the culture and stuff. How many cups of coffee you drink per day?
Depends a bit, but usually about 3 doubles.
3 doubles.
Yeah.
Well,
so 6 cups. More or less.
Yeah. Just.
But I'm not talking about 6 lattes, eh?
No.
Because then I'll be like a balloon.
Yeah.
But it's just not because it's not healthy, but because for the stomach to have so much milk wouldn't be very healthy.
Well, I'm mostly like caffeinated, like all of the time.
But you need to find the balance, because it can help you a lot, but it can also wear you out in the long run.
Yeah.
Because you work on your peak, and it's the same as a Dutchman. If we're talking about special pills that we have in Holland, if you take that, that's great. But the day after, you feel like trash.
So I'm sorry.
Coffee is the same. If you overdose yourself with coffee, or people do with alcohol, the next day you're like a trepka.
That's true. Well, it's okay. I'm all in for coffee, man. I'm a coffee guy. So you see, just like Dennis takes people to these locations in Almaty that I'll never go, bro. Like I would even complain about these places. Why does this such place exist? But you see, he finds a beauty in those places, and then he takes people there, and people love it. And then I go to China. I go on Chinese websites. I search things about Kazakhstan, and then I find Green Bazaar. I find your coffee shop. I find all these
Well, in Chinese,
yeah, in Chinese websites, I speak Chinese. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And this, they showed the same places like Dennis.
Yeah, yeah.
Modernism.
Yeah.
Like these things are famous, you know, and people are kind of
interested.
interested to come and see, and we don't value them.
I
Just like
think-
you said, our top, the management probably, the
yeah.
Akimat, because they're locals, they don't see what you see. That's why these places don't have such value to us.
If we go back to the Green Bazaar ID, is that I honestly was scared that one kind of person with a lot of money would take it down. Because there was no development in the Green Bazaar. And the only development you could create to stimulate the development of the Green Bazaar, let's say, from bottom up and not from top down.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying that is thanks to us. That's a bit too much credit, but I think we try to give a bit more elan to this to the Green Bazaar, and I think it worked quite well.
It looks good now.
Yes,
I've seen some videos.
Now they're also really investing in the Green Bazaar, so there are a lot of changes internally, and we have a really good contact with the administration about it. And they're really trying hard to find a new identity for the Green Bazaar. And I'm super happy because I was really scared that somebody would take it down and put it in a shopping center. Because technically, looking at the value of the Green Bazaar, in terms of location, it's super expensive location.
Exactly, yeah.
In terms of revenue that it creates, it's quite limited. I mean, if I would build their housing, 20-story buildings, then I could make a lot more money. Yeah, but then you rip out the culture.
Exactly.
You know, you rip the epicenter of Almaty.
Yeah. That's why they did the same thing with the Almaty cinema.
Yeah.
When they placed the first McDonald's there.
Yes.
That's kind of like the people were against it. They were like, hey, listen, leave it. It's like, you know, it's coming from like old times. It's cultural things.
So this, I mean, you can of course judge people on destroying a lot of culture, but I think you have to go, talking about the Kazakh culture, you have to go through that process in order to have a better understanding. So how they demolished things, it isn't good.
Yeah.
I agree with it. We talked about the dragon. Remember this mosaic which was destroyed. It's totally not good. But I hope that they now start to realize that from the governmental side, they should have some architectural regulations. Yes,
of course.
And I'm not talking about UNESCO right away, but let's say the local UNESCO says like, you know, these are elements which makes the identity of Almaty, and therefore you are not able to change its value. You can contribute to it, you can restore it, yes, but there are some strict regulations.
Why do we love Europe so much? You know, why do people love Europe? Because of the identity they have. You know, they're keeping everything.
Of course.
I really want our government to work hard on this. They need to preserve all these old places of Almaty.
You cannot completely expect it, because let's say how I see it, but it's very personal. Yeah. After the break of the Soviet Union, Kazakhstan became in a different state. Yes. Trying to find its own identity. So the first thing what you do is resent everything that was foreign. Yes, and that's the colonial ID. Yeah. So you resent the Soviet or the Russian thing because we're Kazakhs. Yeah, we're not Russian. I'm going to show you. Yeah. Yes. So you destroying something Soviet can also be a show of development for a Kazakh, because they say, listen, we're not a colony anymore, yes?
Yeah.
And therefore we decided to take it down because it's not Kazakhstan. Yeah. So I think it's a very natural development to do this. In the cultural sense, I think it's not very smart, but it's development. Also the Kazakh language, or the educational platform in Kazakhstan.
Or the alphabet thing, right?
Huh?
Also, the alphabet thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
letters, you know, we're trying to go back and forth.
So sometimes they trash a bit too fast.
Yeah.
Certain systems. Yeah. Because they say it's Soviet, it's not new age, and we have to have new age. No. I think you have to take the fruits. I mean, the Soviet time, or they also gave a lot to Kazakhstan. but you have just to pick the fruits.
Yeah.
And then you need a sophisticated development in mind for that. So if you start to embrace the good things that the Soviet time gave us here in Kazakhstan, and be busy with the development of the Kazakh culture, then everything is fine. But so I understood this fact of destroying a lot of Soviet stuff, but I don't think it's good. But yeah, it's how it happens. I mean, our nation, the Dutch, also weren't
part of the story.
We're in the 16th century. We did also a lot of stuff which you could just condemn, or say it wasn't smart. So,
well, I guess it's part of the history. Sometimes I understand that our government is so complicated.
Mm-hmm. Super complicated.
The location of Kazakhstan is super complicated.
Of course.
Our foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they having the hardest job.
That's true.
And then you have to take care of the inner problems. At the times like this, all I can think of is probably God loves Kazakhstan, because how else we're like you said, we do some things like super rush. Mm-hmm. Just like this, like from the next year or the 2025, we're going to start declaring our assets and incomes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like.
This thing is too early, man. Come on.
Too early.
Too early.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
We just had that fucking COVID. Just give us a break,
Yeah, but I mean, being progressive doesn't mean,
exactly.
You can be progressive in a very sophisticated way.
Yeah.
And not such an aggressive way. I mean, if we're talking about politics, it's always a very sensitive topic here in Kazakhstan. Mm-hmm. But yes, change is difficult. And if we look at the current situation, there's a lot of things that you can talk about where you can agree or disagree with what's happening in the country. Mm-hmm. But for sure, it's not as easy as you think. I mean, if you're in the top, yes, you don't work alone. You work with a team. And unfortunately, some of this team are good, some are less competent, and you cannot change that within a day. It needs to be a process. And the process starts, this change process, it doesn't start at the politics.
Yeah.
It starts with us.
With people.
With your kids.
Yes.
With my kids, with your kids. Yes.
Of course.
If we educate them in a different way, eventually one of them will drop into the government and will show the new perspectives of Kazakhstan. But if you expect an older generation to change and by only telling them how to do things, no,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Yeah. You have to change yourself first.
Sure.
And I see a lot of people, complaining a lot. But if we look at the roads, they're not everywhere great in Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
But if I see how many people don't pay taxes, so what do you expect? You're complaining to me about the road, while you have 20 EPs, yes, and trying to do all creative stuff.
We have a lot of people don't pay tax.
Then I think then you don't have a right to speak.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. They caught a guy in Astana or in Shymkent. They caught a guy who was driving just like 2 days ago. The guy had, I think, 17 or 7 million in fines.
Yeah.
Driver. Wow. How can you? Bro, like they will kick you out. Like you can't do this kind of thing outside of Kazakhstan in other countries.
Okay, that's sort of a very extreme case, of course. But just general tax. If I buy something in the shop, okay, it will be great to get it cheap, but come on, I mean, we have to pay taxes. It's fine. I'm not saying that what is done with the tax money is all correct. I'm not saying that. We're not talking about this kind of subject. That's a whole different subject.
Such country does not exist, bro.
Yeah, also that. But just in generally, I think, if we should also give them a chance to change. And you need a lot of terpenia for that.
Yeah.
Well,
stamina for that.
Patience, kind of.
Yeah, and with pain... I'm very confident. I'm here from '98, in Kazakhstan. If I see the development of Kazakhstan, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people, they don't realize, and a lot of the young generation don't realize how it was here and how it is now. It's a huge change in the positive sense. And again, there are a lot of stuff which are still negative, which still needs more attention. Yes. We're talking about, for example, now very popular is the female situation, which was posted on Instagram a lot, which is, I think, it's a subject which needs to change rapidly.
It needs to be talked about.
Openly talked about it and changed, and therefore, that there are a lot of topics to change. But
of course,
I don't think we should only waste our energy on only negative stuff.
Of course, definitely. Well, like whatever you focus on, that thing's gonna grow, right? Since you mentioned Instagram, I don't know what's your take on that. I travel a lot.
Yeah.
Like this year alone, I traveled probably 7 times. So I was in China recently, and then I was sitting there on Instagram, and then I realized the whole of CIS countries, right, SNG, including Kazakhstan, it's like everyone is doing this info business now. Everyone is teaching somebody something.
Yeah.
Well, and I think this thing's gonna be a problem very, very soon.
It's a balloon.
This bubble is gonna
of course
blow up.
That's true.
So I was taking a look at it, and then I actually started the TikTok just because of this, because I thought, okay, you know what?
That's gonna work out. Right?
Yeah, I think I need to get attention.
Yeah,
I need to get more attention, because if I'm not gonna be online, I'm not gonna be anywhere, because this is the future. Blah blah blah. And these young kids are making money. I'm getting old. Like I'm being left behind. And then I started a TikTok channel, and then I grew very good on TikTok, just giving out toxic advices, how to, suppress women and that type of stuff. But that was for a joke, to get attention, so that I can turn them into my clients.
You were the Tate of Andrew Tate of
Kazakhstan. Well, yeah, they say it like
top G.
and they take the Kazakh top G.
He'll be in prison soon.
Yeah, no, it's okay. He won't be. I talked to him. I'm just kidding. So what happened is, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna do this because I wanted to teach people how to do business with China, and then I'm gonna be lost because a lot of people are doing that online on the internet. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this, do stupid jokes, get attention, and then turn them into business, monetize that shit later. That was the plan. And then now this time sitting in China, I'm looking at it, I was like, listen, and then a thought came to me, I was like, listen, people who are busy with their business, they don't have time, because I don't have time to sit on the internet and shoot everything. I have so many interesting content. Like I've been shooting a lot of videos, and I don't have time to post it, and I'm lazy to write about it. And then sometimes I think, like, who gives a shit about these things?
Exactly.
And then okay, listen, if people are giving too much attention to their content, and 100%, that's the only way they're making money. That's the only way they're eating, of keep teaching people, keep selling these courses, useless courses, and then
some are really good, but there's also a lot of
and then who can teach like that? Who can have seminars? When you're a billionaire, when you have the whole team working for you, you can be on the level of Margulan Sisimbai, and then you can do that shit. 500 people attend to his courses, whatever they pay.
Yeah, but then becomes I think that comes already to the section of abuse.
Yeah,
because the people they pay $2,000, for example, to get a kind of adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
While their capacity, I'm not a builder, I'm not a constructor. Yeah, respect to the constructor, he can do something that I can't do. Don't try to convince me that I'm a constructor. I'm just not.
Exactly.
Yes?
People are different.
If you push somebody full of adrenaline, or ketamine or whatever, and then let them pay $2,000 for it, no way he's gonna go to his friends and say, "Oh no, that was shitty. Actually, I couldn't do it. I didn't like it." Because you feel stupid. You spend $2,000 to something that
nobody wants to look stupid.
Yeah, nobody wants to look stupid. So I'm not saying right away it's trickery, yes.
Yeah.
But it's a monetizing.
Yeah.
Engine.
Yeah.
And
that thing's gonna be a problem very soon, because a lot of people already start suing people, blah blah blah. And then I was like, you know what? And then I finally I know. Look at the content. I know which guy is authentic.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. I met Muddy when he had I think 30,000 followers. Now he had 70 or 80K followers within a year. The growth is very good, and he's been on TV and stuff, and he's not selling anything. The guy has a solid business behind him.
Yeah.
And then he's just teaching you or telling you who he is. Like exactly. That's the whole point. And then you start to realize I got mad respect for Madi for doing what he's doing because he's real. Now it's very hard to find the guy who's real. So like the same thing like Richard Branson, who comes to Kazakhstan and then the seminars.
Merlin Manson?
Richard Branson.
Branson.
Yeah, he comes. He comes, gets on the stage. He tells you whatever you know already. He's like, yeah, you have to be this. You know, get your motivation up and do this and do that. Okay, that's good. It's kind of. I would attend, but I don't have time. I would attend. That's it. But I'm not buying any courses. And then now I'm finally figuring out who is who.
Exactly.
Because they're selling vozdukh.
You're selling air.
A lot of selling this empty air. And then in the beginning of this podcast, you said you're trying to keep your profile low.
How many followers I have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The real example of a person.
Exactly.
Did you see how many followers we have?
No. I didn't even know you exist on.
Open your Instagram. Look how many followers.
How many? 6?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about this is plain reality, yeah?
Like, what's your Instagram name?
Yeah, bowler, any bowler, doesn't matter. Bowler Coffee Roasters.
Yeah, bowler, 4,600.
Yeah,
but there's no there's no information on you.
Yeah, but you see, I mean, like, you know our place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and you invite me here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm thankful, of course.
How do you find him?
No. So you know more about me than I know about myself, but just word to mouth.
Yeah.
And so these people who are connected to the Bowler account are active clients. Yes. These are clients that we have a relationship with, we personally know, and that's sufficient. So if I have 5 million followers, because I think if I would have some Instagram people or TikTok people, I
working for you. Yeah.
I could manage this 5 million. But then I got like 5 million people who do not understand the concept. Yeah.
That's
so
right.
they come inside.
That's a
latte,
mass.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not about this.
Now I'm all for preserving the traditional way of doing business.
Traditional.
So this way, now this time in China, I've met so many friends. I got a lot of foreigners in China. They're working, they're married, and they have businesses, and they're busy.
Of course.
They're living a good life. They're super busy.
Yeah.
And I was, listen, like, why none of you like promote shit online? Why don't you guys have your personal brands and promote? Like, they were like, what for?
Yeah, for who?
Yeah, for whom?
It's not a long term, bro. Like,
and then you think about it. Listen, but China is like it's a country that's supposed to be living in the future and everything's supposed to be online. But the business somehow it's traditional. Those it's not about who got cheaper, who got faster. Chinese people are always about the culture. You need to understand the culture. You might not be the fastest. You might not be I'm not the fastest. The best one. Exactly.
I'm also not the best one.
But still, they will choose you for one reason only, if you're a reliable person, if they can trust you. They think about eating with one finger for the next 10 years instead of Kazakhs, they want to eat with the whole hand. Yeah. Now, they don't think about tomorrow.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool.
So this time I was like, you know what?
But let's not make too negative. It's changing.
Yeah, and then I understand. Well, not all of us. Not all of the Kazakhs. Come on, we have really, really smart minds, like great minds. So what I did was I said, fuck it, and I deleted the TikTok account. I deleted it. I was like, "What? I don't want to put energy into
there." That's a pity because I tried to find you.
The guy was the guy got divorced.
Who?
Listening to my advices. I don't know. A guy of 43 years old. He comes to the gym and he was like, I told my wife this, but I broke up. I got divorced. Now I got a new girlfriend. Keep it up. I love your advices. Like, listen.
That was the Tate time.
Yes, it was a joke times. I was writing.
Let's say humor is very difficult for some. So your humor is fun.
Yeah,
but
it's destructive.
It can be very destructive for somebody who doesn't know you.
Exactly,
and he doesn't know the sophisticated mind behind it. So, I'm not. It's not that I want to give you a guilt trip or something, but there's a lot of people who really listen to it and they really literally think that's the key.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's not about what I say; it's about how I say it.
No, how they interpret it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And so, but you're kind of responsible for it when you take a wider audience.
Mm-hmm. Yes? That's why I deleted it.
That's the difference. So, I think there should be a very balanced mutual respect.
Yeah.
Yes. So you really have to think. You don't have to be. Yeah. You carry responsibility.
I had a very massive spiritual growth this year, and my TikTok page didn't align with it. My connection with God this year, it was not on the same path with this toxic my account advices. And then
so why didn't you say sorry?
To whom?
No, just in general. Just say, listen, I refreshed my mind and I analyzed myself.
You can do it
and
now.
my development. No, seriously, I'm serious about it. Yeah, because this is a topic which is problematic in Kazakhstan. Yeah. To say like authentic way, I hope I inspired a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. With my joking attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun, and I enjoyed the journey. But I became to realize that there's some group of people who really didn't get the depth of what I tried to convey. And I'm sorry if I created some malfunction in your behavior.
You know what? I might do that. Yeah. I might do that. But I did apologize to God because He knows my intentions.
Yeah.
Without others. It got real the moment some women started reposting my TikTok videos and then tagging me and calling me names. Yeah. Because of this asshole, my husband, blah, 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 because of this stupid people, and he thinks it's a joke. And then right today, before I left the gym, the guy, it's another guy, he's 50 years old. He was like, listen, what's your name? I said, Eidos. Isn't it you on the TikTok? I can find you for a while now. I said, listen, I deleted it. I was like, oh, why'd you delete it? It was such a relief. Everything you say about women, it was always like a relief to me. It's like, why would you hate? Yeah, and then I write under every single video, I write that it's a joke. And I tell them to go check out my Instagram page. You'll know I'm a very family-oriented person.
But do you know how many youngsters read content?
Yeah, they don't read.
No, really. They look at the picture, they look at the video, and that's it. So it's unfortunately, a bit too much to ask.
Yeah, 16 years old kid.
Yeah,
his name is Timur. He's in the gym. He said he calls me uncle. He called me Uncle Eidos. I watch your advices. Most of them, I listen to it, but some of them I can't. Like it doesn't. I don't take them. I was like, listen, it's all a joke, okay? If somehow it helps, please listen to it. But it's all a joke. Just keep it in mind, okay? He was like, well, I don't like those parts when you talk about sex or when you talk about threesomes or something dirty stuff. Yeah. And then I was like, listen. And then I understood. Okay, it's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And then I checked. The guy analyzed my page, and then he checked. It was most of my viewers were youngsters.
Yeah.
And
yes. And
I'm gonna fuck up their mind for no reason.
So the thing is, that's why I'm saying I'm not trying to like push you down or whatever. Not at all. On the contrary, when you're able to acknowledge your personal development, what you try to achieve, and how it went successful or not successful. If you open up about it, it can also be the lesson for the people who read your previous stuff. I mean, because it's a part of your development. Because you're not the same person anymore as, let's say, than a year ago or 2 years ago. Because you got a different view. You got a different knowledge or a different view on things. And I'm not asking you to have a guilt trip, yeah? That's not at all.
You know what? You just gave me a great idea, bro. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I think I'm going to delete the whole thing and then make a fresh one with the old parts, and then it gets deleted. Yes, and then the new me sitting telling you I'm a changed man because blah blah blah. You didn't.
Yes, intellectual. You don't have to be a saint. Yeah, that's not the thing. I mean,
and actually, I might transform them. I might keep them. Yeah. And make them useful followers. Well, most of them gonna hate me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say, listen. I understand. I don't know. I understand that you hate me. I mean. I might have said some things that can be interpreted in different ways, and while I thought it was humor, not everybody was open for this humor, and which is understandable because everybody's in a different phase of life, with a different knowledge, but it was not my intention
to be destructive.
It
was a joke, and your stupid asses didn't understand. I'm sorry. I had to.
Yeah, no, it sounds cool, but it's really
Well, I'll give them a little bit toxicity because it's in me. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, that's okay.
Okay, I mean, to sum up the topic, Mathijs, tell us about your maybe results of the year of 2023 and maybe some resolutions for upcoming year. Do you have anything to sum up this year, just in short? How was it for you?
No, I think this year there have been very beautiful things, and the year's not over yet, and still something very beautiful to come. But it has been a very tough period. Yes, I mean, in some ways we are very. I think we're successful. But the economic situations, the pandemic that we had, the January event that we had in Kazakhstan, nevertheless, puts a lot of pressure on the business, and so on everybody within the business. You don't get desperate, but it absorbs a lot of energy to keep your spine straight. And I'm a Dutchman, yeah. I tell what's
on my mind. Yeah.
What's on my mind.
We're not straight.
Yeah, we're very straight in things. I'm not gonna be smiling continuously and while in the background everything is breaking down. Yeah. So it has been just a very challenging year. And for example, that we closed Kalin because of rent. That was a heartbreaking situation. Somehow.
They raised the price.
Sorry?
They raised the
They
price.
raised the price, but of course it's a combination of things. I can say because I had a lot of pressure on my personal business. Things become way more complicated than that you wish it for it to be. And I'm not the only one. The whole industry has it, and so you have to work together in order to go further, and that means it's give and take. And within the give and take structure, there should be a balance in order to have a good relationship. And if you feel that you can only take, if this balance is not in balance at that time, then things they get disrupted. It's a bit cryptic because I don't want to blame the guy. He made his decisions. And I didn't see his full picture, maybe what he wants for the future. It's his personal thing. But I think we could have resolved it differently. But it's his choice, and I respect. He has also mouths to feed and things to do. Of course. So it's a decision, and I just have to deal with it. So we closed down Kalina, but at the same time, we got a chance to open another location near Tsum, which is also as beautiful, but it's a different location. So you start all over again. Feeling, and not all the customers we had in Kalina are able to come to that region because there's difficulty with parking. So I think this year it was full of challenges, private and business-wise. But one thing I know for sure, when I'm 80 years old, I had a lot of experience. Yes. So it gives also color to life. Yes.
Of course.
And I think that this new year will start with a bang in a positive sense.
Amen.
There will be a lot of changes. I think we're talking about the tax structure and the payment structures, which is going to change, will bring an additional pressure to everybody. Yes. I think that prices will change again.
Everything.
Because of this. Because people think, now I have to pay taxes, so everything needs to be higher in price. It will create some kind of mess in order for it to become better.
Exactly. Chaos is
needed. In the beginning.
Chaos, maybe
for the order.
Chaos is very tough, of course, but yes, there will be different changes because the idea is good, what they want to do, but like you said,
the execution,
the time when to do this is maybe not the best one because people need to learn. Because, for example, talking about business, I'm an entrepreneur in the Green Bazaar. I have one shop who sells apples. And suddenly I need to fund a bookkeeper. You know how much a bookkeeper costs a month?
No.
Now you start at maybe 250K a month. Yeah, 250,000 tenge.
Mm-hmm.
2 million if you have a really good one.
Go.
Yeah, but and then you don't have the best one. Yeah, even so. If you sell apples.
Yeah.
Yeah, and tomatoes, and you have to every month pay her. Yeah, and pay salaries, and pay your pension funds, and your insurance, and your go on and on and on and on.
That's an accountant, right? Talking about.
Yeah. Then you have to wonder if your business is then still profitable.
Yeah, of course.
Well, let's hope everything's gonna work out.
Yeah, I mean,
now we have to find the balance, and again, I think still there are a lot of positive things.
Yeah,
but we cannot predict the future. I think we should just dive into it and accept as it is, because I don't think that this is kind of an evil plan from the top of Kazakhstan to introduce this. No, not at all. It's a restructuring. It's structuring, and I think it's generally good that they start to legalize stuff, because if everybody would pay taxes, the roads would be better, the education will be better, the healthcare might improve.
It will.
So
definitely hope so.
The general idea is good, but again, the execution part is usually the most difficult part. So I hope we cross it all together, hand in hand.
Well, the government said, let's start it first.
Let's start,
and then we'll see how it goes, and then definitely there are gonna be changes.
Sure.
Well,
yeah. I mean, thank you for such talk. I mean, that was really intense. And
let's have a big thanks, man, for being
for,
part of
all,
the encouragement of the Kazakhstani youth to learn English.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Just like our president.
I mean, don't take my English as an example.
No,
because I'm a Dutchman. I speak Dutch.
Well, that's the whole point of this, right?
Yeah.
The whole point of this is to encourage.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid for this. We're just trying to encourage our youth. We're doing our part. Look at our president. He speaks few languages. Like he's a very strong diplomat.
Yeah.
We're trying to encourage our youth to learn English. Be ready. Kazakhstan is growing. You need to get ready today in order to,
Language is the cheapest investment you can do.
Exactly.
I mean, if you, I tell people, they want to speak English, so they want to come to Bodø to practice their English. It's not easy because not everybody speaks English. But I just say, you start with your kids, put on the movies and not in Russian.
Yes.
Just do it in English, or even Chinese if you want to learn Chinese. It doesn't matter, but just show it in the language that you want them to learn, because that's a free privilege, free privilege of education. If you're not wealthy, in Kazakhstan, and you want to climb up the ladder, this is the cheapest way to educate your kids.
Second reason,
without the TikTok.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trash.
Now the second reason is for the foreigners, expats just like yourself. Who is trying to come to Kazakhstan? Who is interested in Kazakhstan? Come, just like look at Mathijs. He's safe and sound. He's partly local.
Yeah,
Kazakhstan is a beautiful place.
I survived also so many years here. Yes.
Don't use the word survive. Don't use the word survive.
No. That's kidding. No. Honestly. I mean, in any country where you go, you have to have some stamina. Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's also an idea that do not compare your own country with the country where you start living. If I start to compare here everything with Holland, I'll get into kind of a negative, stupid spiral who doesn't help anybody.
Downward spiral.
I would not help. I wouldn't help myself. And I'll be the old grumpy guy in a pub drinking himself every day to death, talking about how bad everything is, while I'll get a paycheck of 10K a month. I don't want to be this kind of person. So this is not my. So Kazakhstan is great if you have the energy for it. Yes, if you're willing to actively participate.
Thank you
in the development of the country. I mean, the doors are open.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say.
Absolutely true. All right, and this is a little gift from Mathijs.
Yeah,
he brought the biscuits.
Eat it
all the way from.
Eat it.
Well, he doesn't try things. Last time I brought him some chips from Italy, and he didn't try it on here.
It
was a dick flavor chips.
Gift for Christmas, right? So thank you once again.
Because maybe he thinks it's bribes or something.
He's very careful with this. He's very careful.
Thank you, Mathijs. Once again,
you're welcome.
It was nice to talk to you, and we hope to see you soon and visit your coffee house.
Yeah,
did
you go to the Green Bazaar?
No, not yet. I mean, we
might go today.
Ashamed,
let's go after today's.
After today's we can go.
Yeah, we'll go today.
Let me know. Give me a message.
Sure.
And we'll sit there.
Sure.
Thank you.
This will be your first new TikTok.
Well, let's no problem.
Yeah.
I can do it from there.
Yeah.
So apologize.
We do a podcast there for something different. So you're welcome, man.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you.
Right,
all right. See you guys soon on our new episodes of Jetil podcast.
Happy New Year,
everyone.
Snow Godem.
Yeah.
Snow Godem.
Yeah.
In Kazakh?
Merry Christmas.
See you.
Kazakh, Happy New Year.
Жаңа жылыңызбен.
Жақсы. Жақсы. Рахмет.